Okay, so I'm going to talk about this mural that I just saw. It's on the side of the Greenwood Masonic Lodge here in Seattle. It's a really big mural they just painted on the side. And here you got the moon. This is Mount Rainier. It's a dormant volcano that's right outside of Seattle here. This is downtown Seattle. You got the Masonic compass hovering over. This is Puget Sound, like hovering over the abyss. I thought this was interesting that they have the light shining off of the emblem and not off the sun. There's a little ferry here crossing Puget Sound. It kind of reminds me of that little boat that goes across in Bohemian Grove, you know, that goes to the owl. There's a lot in this. There's a lot in this. I'm not going to be able to talk at all. I'm going to forget some stuff. But here you have the G. It's in green, generative force. Seattle's known as the Emerald City. Because it's all green, because it rains so much here and there's trees everywhere, so they have this painted all green. And then you have the sun. You got the rising sun of the new age, the golden age, the dawning of the new age. Let's see. We also, Seattle, we have the Space Needle here. I don't know if you can see here, but there's a 3. There's a nice big 3 that they put. You can see that there. They put a nice 3 there, the artist. Yeah, so this picture is, it tells a lot. If you know anything about the Masons, you know, it originates from Babylon, right, from Nimrod. That's really where it kind of started. And it was carried down through Solomon. But Nimrod is kind of considered the first Freemason, I suppose. This is a close-up of the sun here. This is an actual building in Seattle. It's called like the Washington Mutual Building or something, but it has the nickname of the Spark Plug Building, which is, if you know anything, if you follow this stuff, you can really read into that, knowing that Kabbalah is all electrical schematics of creation and electricity, and so you have the Spark Plug Building, and behind it you have the rising sun of the new age of the golden age, the dawning of the new age of Saturn, the golden age of Saturn. And of course they have a little phoenix here flying. You could say it's an eagle, then that's EA, that's another name for Saturn. You got the G there, and then you got LE, that's another name for Saturn. You could say it's a condor, it's a con, like a con job, doorway, condor. But most likely it's a phoenix, because the phoenix represents this new age here, this rebirth. But they put it, I want to say, they put it behind this building for a reason. If you can see at the very top, it's a pyramid. It's a pyramid with a cube on the top. Now, what I was going to do is show, this is the Spark Club building. There aren't very many pictures of it on here for some reason. This is a picture of it at night, which is kind of creepy. It's got the Abyssinian line, it's got an X, it's got the wire, electricity. I think this is from the buses that run here. This is what the bus is hooked up to, so it's like electricity wires. But at the very top you can see there's a cube up here, and I guess the light shines through it. But it's hard to see, but these inside the cube, maybe this will show. Oh, it's not clear. But inside this very top here, this whole building is covered. You can see them here, here, and here. Here, the cube. It's covered with this symbol. This one right here. Let me go to here. Illustration number 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. This is what is covering the cube here. Babalu, gate of God, referring to the winter solstice. Illustration number 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. If you read into this, it's got a lot of 3, 6, 9. It just kind of explains it. It's Babalu. Okay. So what did I say? Nimrod. Nimrod was from Babylon, right? He was the ruler of Babylon. Okay. where Nimrod ruled, and where they tried to build a tower, right? And if you notice, this isn't the shape of an L, for L, Saturn. And the story of the city of Babel is recorded in Genesis 11:1-9. Okay, so it doesn't say, it says here, etymology, the Tower of Babel does not appear in the Bible. It is always the city and its tower. So you can consider Seattle and its tower, its Space Needle. The city, Babel, means gate of God, from the Akkadian Babalu, gate of God. So you have the gate of God on the top of this spark plug building, in a cube. Okay. So I was reading farther onto this. It talks about how they took a gimlet and sought to pierce the heavens, saying, "Let us see whether the heaven is made of clay, or of iron, or of brass, or of iron." And iron's, if you Google iron, Nostradamus, and Saturn, there's interesting correlation there. But this word gimlet kind of stuck out. I guess maybe I didn't really know what a gimlet was, so I looked it up. And gimlet, so it's a little tool for punching, for boring. A small screw tip tool for boring holes. Okay. So that made me think, well, okay, it kind of reminded me of the Space Needle. Space Needle is kind of this weird art building, artistic, postmodern, modern, whatever crap. It was made for some big science thing back in 1962 here, a World Fair, World Science Fair. But for some reason it made me think maybe this is a gimlet. You know, it's a space needle. It's trying to bore through space. Floor count 6, lift elevators 3. So I'm thinking, you know, space needle. For their anniversary, they painted it orange, Saturn orange. This is the original conception, I believe. It says here. You know, some guy was drawing it on a napkin, sketching out a vision of what it's going to look like. You can read into that, I suppose. You can read into that. Those are rings. You got the 3. And this was some movie I haven't seen, the Parallax View. Red and blue, he saw too much. Hope that's not me. But they have a little target here with Saturn in the background. It's a big conspiracy movie. And right next to it here, El Cid, love theme, 93 views. I've got 6. So I don't know, maybe that's saying something. And there's also another thing here called the Black Sun sculpture, or the donut, as locals call it, or something like that, the Black Donut. It's a 1969 sculpture. That is 2.7 diameters, 9 feet. So that's 9 and 9. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little bumps here. If you look up the alchemy of it, you got the green lion, which is Jacob, which is the liar, which is the fake sun, the fake creator, eating the real sun. Okay, so you got skeleton holding the raven, standing on the black sun, the black sunflower. Okay, death. It's not good. In the occult, the black sun. If you don't know about this, you really need to look into this. Hitler was all into this. Neo-Nazis. Alright, it's the black sun. It's not good. Okay. So this guy makes this art piece, right? He calls it the Black Sun. Yeah, why not, you know? Why not make some weird, some occultic, you know, black sun, why not? Why not name it a Black Sun? Sure. It could be anything. Why not name it that? Okay, so here's the artist now. Isamu. This guy. You could probably read into this. Who knows what that says, right? It's probably interesting. But here's some other things he's done. The red cube, the sky gate, the black sun, and the Herman Miller lounge table. The red cube. So he's also made this. And here I thought this was a good group right here. So you got red, yellow, blue, green. This is actually kind of turquoise, which means like the Trample had a thing about, it's the new program, the change. You got the cube, with the Kaaba and in Mecca there. You got this demonic picture of the cube here, and then you got this guy. You got the seal of Saturn here with the two pillars. I don't know if he did this or not, this love. But if you know what that's about, it's evil. Love, it's the whole love movement. Love communist movement. Love everything, Love is the truth, whatever. Now if you look through that black sun, here's a picture someone took, right? Nice little rainbow. Nice little Saturn ring here. And you got the green, right? You got the green lion. Kinda looks like the Matrix too. Like the system. It has that tint of green to it, going green. But if you look through it, you see the Space Needle. Okay. So the guy made the black sun specifically so that when you stood, you could look through it and see the Space Needle. So now, if you look up needle, you get all this. To thread, okay, to sew, to spin. So it's sewing and threading space, the Space Needle, okay? Also magnetized, a piece of magnetized steel and a compass. Magnetized steel. Needle. So they also look up, it's also in Matthew here. 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. So what's in there? And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Another thing here, to needle someone is to goad or provoke, or to haggle in making a bargain. Now, I think we all, to haggle in making a bargain, now who does that? What culture does that, huh? Yeah. Rich man. So it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Okay? So I looked up camel. Camel. Phoenician, Hebrew or Phoenician, Gamal. Okay? To bear. And there's some, like you can probably read into the Bear constellation, Andromeda galaxy. These are two types of camels here. But this one, the back train, they have two humps. Okay? So now, if you're looking through that black sun and you turn around, this is what's behind it. It's the Asian Art Museum. And you have a camel and a camel, both with two humps. And here you got one pillar in the center pillar, and then you got the seal of Saturn right here, running up and down it. With kids playing in front of it. Here's an even more spooky picture. But anyways, so you got the two camels here. Camel statue in front of this Seattle Asian Art Museum, right? And then there's your Seattle portal with that right there. So that black sun, that Space Needle, some kind of portal, right? Or it's just telling you that it can't be all coincidence that this is all related to the occult, So here you have this Masonic mural. They specifically put the sun behind the Babalu, the Gate of God, here at the top of the pyramid, the time cube, on the spark plug building. And here you have the same thing here from the Scrooge McDuck. Time eventually tells Duckburg that it is the dawn of a new day. The Golden Age. the return of the golden age of Saturn.